Lawrence. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Pretty good. All right. For our media, we're joined now by Arkansas State head coach Butch Jones. Coach, would you please kick it off with an opening statement?
Sure. Well, obviously, really appreciative of our players. Hard fought game. You're playing the 14th ranked team in the country. And, we gave us an opportunity to win the game in the fourth quarter. And that's really what we talked about. To be able to beat, high quality opponents, you got to play four quarters. You got to get the game to the fourth quarter, and anything could happen. We were able to do that. We weren't able to win the fourth quarter. And I think when you look at it, obviously winning is very fragile. And, you could pick out 3 to 4 singular plays that kind of make the difference between winning and losing, but they really all add up to, a sequence of plays. Obviously the 2 minute, the 8 point play within 32 seconds of the first half was, one of those sequentials of the game that really kind of affected the game and the outcome. But again, I thought our players battled. I thought our resiliency, our effort, our toughness gave us an opportunity to win the game, and we came up a little bit short. Great challenge going on the road to Atlanta, Kennesaw State. They've done a really good job with the portal of building their program. Um, you know, there's different matchups. Style of fights dictate the style of play game in and game out. And this is a completely different style of game than what we've experienced last week. So that's going to be a great challenge in and of itself. So I will pause right now and answer any questions y'all may have.
We'll open up now for questions. First questions will come from Luke Matheson.
Butch, obviously, you guys just played back-to-back Power Five teams there. What was the biggest difference that you saw from the Arkansas game to this game with Iowa State this past week, as far as improvement goes? On top of that, where do you need to continue to go, and what are your thoughts on the upcoming opponent this week?
Well, that's exactly right in terms of the progression. And I think when you play quality opponents, at times it's hard to see where you've improved just because of the quality of the player that you're playing against and the team. I think the two Power Four programs that we've played, their styles of play are a little bit different. But what I saw is I saw more 11 for 11. I thought our communication was much better. I thought uh, we played more freely. We played more together. I thought I saw some individual improvements in terms of fundamentals and details. Was really worried they had the number one punt return team in the country, and we couldn't lose the game on special teams. And I thought, we didn't do that. So I just think the consistency and performance improved. We were able to establish a run game. We were more consistent in the run game, and we did the things that we needed to do. We executed the game plan of what it would take to beat a quality opponent like Iowa State. Now we go on the road, and like I said, style of fights kind of dictate how you're going to play. This is completely different up-tempo offense, two running quarterbacks, mock speed, really, really good skill. And then defensively, really stout up front, good corners, physical team. Same thing. They went on the road first game and really outplayed Wake Forest and should have won that football game. So a great challenge. And just like any week, it starts with your preparation. But I thought, the other improvements is I thought we had an average week of preparation for the Arkansas game. I thought we had a much better week of preparation for the Iowa State week. And I think our players learned about the value of what it takes day in and day out to prepare.
Let's go over to Charles.
What's going on, Coach?
Charles?
Um, the rush defense had a rough couple weeks. What's the message to the team or to that side of the ball going into this week?
Well, I think, yeah, so it's all relative to the quality of opponent. Last time I checked, we played an SEC team, and then we played the 14th ranked team in the country. That doesn't excuse, the inability at times to stop the run. We haven't given up very many explosive runs. I think where we've let people bleed us And, we talked about it earlier, the 4-yard runs, the 5-yard runs, the 6-yard runs, and now you're behind the sticks and it's 3rd and 2, it's 2nd and 4. And those we've had a hard time recovering. I thought we did a better job at times this past week in terms of being very gap conscientious, being gap sound, getting off blocks. So I think it's been a combination of a little things. I think the eye discipline, the communication, where we've got into problems at times too, has been a mental error or a lack of communication. So I think it all kind of goes hand in hand. The quality of the opponent, you get exposed with some things probably you can't get away with. Charles, I didn't think we did a particularly very good job of tackling on Saturday. We didn't run our feet on contact. We were more like missiles and diving, and they were all or nothing instead of wrapping up and running our feet and drive your feet for 5. And that's something that, we have to do a much better job and continue to improve, especially for this week.
It's cool if I go with the follow up, Sam.
Yeah, go ahead, Charles.
During your press conference on Saturday, you mentioned that the team was beat up. Any updates on injuries?
Yeah, I think our kids have done a really good job of, getting in the training room. I don't foresee anybody being out this week. I think it's just a cumulative effect of, 4 games and, one of them versus an FCS playoff team and then an SEC team and then a 14th ranked team in the country. So I think it's just an cumulative effect. I think the positive thing that occurred on Saturday because of some of players being limited is we had some individuals that really gained significant playing time for the first time. So I think the volume of work, the volume of repetitions that they received, how we divided the labor, all those things, I think that really helped us in providing now some competition and some depth.
Got time for one more question from Luke.
Coach, I want to ask you about the running game Saturday night. Several sustained drives, 13, 14, 15 play drives, took significant time off the clock. I want to ask your thoughts, one, on the offensive line for making that happen, but also I went back and watched the film last night. You had a lot of great perimeter blocking from your wide receivers to help make that happen as well. Just want to get your thoughts on the run game and how you can use that moving forward.
Well, look, I think first of all, when you're able to run the football, I think it's a combination of all 11 individuals working together as one. And, so much of it is the perimeter blocking and understanding your leverage. And then, how do you restart your feet? How do you run the outside number? All those things that go into it. I think restarting your feet in football, whether it's blocking or tackling, is one of the hardest skill sets to do in all of football. So again, we put a premium on our receivers being able to block. I think being able to run the quarterback and being able to be +1 versus the rover defense, I think that helped us. And I think just the overall strain of the effort, it wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought our kids tried to play through the echo of the whistle. I thought we did a good job of numbers, angles, and grass in the run game. And that's what we talk about all the time too, is, how can we help our offensive line out? So I think it was a combination of what you saw when you watched the video in terms of, the right run reads, being able to run the quarterback, being able to be balanced. I think that's the other thing too, is when you're able to effectively run the ball and you're able to gain 4 and 5 yards, well, now, that adds so much to your playbook in terms of play pass, run pass, all the different things that you have the luxury to do. When you're not able to run the football, you become one-dimensional. You have to go against one-dimensional pass rushers, all those things that go into it. So I do think it was a combination of all that, why we were able to run the football.
Thanks, Coach Jones. Appreciate the time today.
Yeah, you guys have a great rest of your week.